This episode discusses body integrity dysphoria and may be triggering for some people. There's more information in the description. My name is Leilani Thatcher, a tour guide at the Library of Lost Things. This is The Doorstep Project, Episode 7, Another Face. This week is a letter from a listener named Daisy. Thank you, Daisy. To The Doorstep Project. I heard you guys take stories most people don't believe. My husband said it might be good for me to write everything down and send it to you. I heard somewhere that the people you pass become faces in your dreams, or part of faces in your dreams. Like, you won't consciously remember the faces of people you don't know or have a real memory of. Then those faces will get added to your dreams, but you won't remember them. Your brain doesn't have the room for all those faces, you know? But familiar faces are usually cataloged in your long-term memory. I don't know this face. I know my face, and this isn't my face. As long as I can remember, I have green eyes. I used to get compliments on them all the time. My friends called me Emmy in high school, like an emerald. It was an inside joke. And I have dark hair, like dark, thick, wavy hair and tan skin. I remember what I look like. I can draw what I look like if I have enough time. Maybe I'll send you a drawing with the letter. I remember the day I woke up with a different face. I started screaming, and my roommate thought I saw a spider. I tried to explain to her that the person in the mirror wasn't me. She talks when I do, and she moves like me, but there's no one else here, and it isn't me. She started showing me pictures of us together, and in every single one, she was with this stranger. Pale skin, red hair, brown eyes. Nothing like me. She called my mom, my boyfriend, and finally, a doctor. I've been going to therapy for 20 years now. I was first diagnosed with prosopagnosia, or face blindness, but I can remember faces. I remember my face. The next doctor suggested depersonalization disorder. The last one thought I might have body integrity dysphoria. I don't know what they think is wrong with me anymore, honestly. Before you think I'm crazy, I promise you, I didn't have any head trauma near the first time I saw my new face, and there wasn't any mental trauma around then either, or really much before that. My face changed. This is real. I promise you. I've grown accustomed to this new face, but I miss my old one. All of my children look like this new me, and I've learned to love their red hair and brown eyes. I miss when my friends called me Emmy, but according to them, the story behind that nickname is different than I remember. My husband said this might help me move past it a little, and maybe find some others who have experienced something similar. And I hope my story can help someone else love their face too. Sincerely, Daisy. Included in this letter was a picture and a drawing. The pictures of a very pretty woman with red hair and brown eyes in a wedding gown. Very beautiful. The drawing is just like Daisy described herself. Dark hair, tan skin, and very pretty green eyes. I did some research. Face blindness is a cognitive disorder that makes it hard to recognize faces and affects 1 in 50 people. Depersonalization disorder is when a person feels like they're watching someone else live their life. There's probably a better way to describe that. Here. According to merckmanuals.com, depersonalization or derealization disorder involves a persistent or reoccurring feeling of being detached from one's body or mental process, like an outside observer of one's life or a feeling of being detached from one's surroundings. Apparently, 75% of the population will experience depersonalization or derealization, but only 2% experience chronic depersonalization. Body integrity dysphoria is an extremely rare neurological condition. When I read the letter, I really debated whether or not I should record this. I don't know anything about these disorders, and I didn't want to come off as offensive or ignorant, but when I really thought about it, I realized that there are hundreds, thousands of people out there that have similar stories, and very few people actually hear them. It's important to note that these conditions are real things. People who live with these disorders are perfectly valid in their experiences. And anyone listening living with any cognitive or neurological disorders, I know it's hard to be heard. I lived a good portion of my life being called crazy by people I trusted. So, if you have a similar story or live with a similar disorder, know that we at the Doorstep Project see you, and we're listening. Gavin is giving me a thumbs up from the booth, so I think it's safe to say that the whole production team hears you, because me and Gavin are the only two on the production team. Thank you, Daisy, for your story. I hope this letter helped you in your journey. This episode was written as an example of what a submission episode would sound like. It was written by AJ. If you would like to submit your story, you can find more information at familyfriendlypodcast.com. Thank you for listening to The Doorstep Project. This audio drama was created and produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave a rating and review on your podcast app of choice or share it with a friend. Leilani and the project will be back next week. Until then, write every day. One day your story could be in a museum. The Doorstep Project is produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. It was written, edited, and performed by AJ Barton. Sound effects for this podcast are provided by Zapsplat. Music used in this podcast includes Reawakening by Kevin McLeod, licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. You can learn more at his website, incompetech.com, or at creativecommons.org. Both music and sound effects have been changed and edited by AJ Barton. Links for websites, information, and contact can be found in the description of the episode. Would you like to submit your story or art to the Doorstep Project? You can find information for story submission at familyfriendlypodcast.com/The Doorstep Project. Information on CC by 4.0 licenses can be found at creativecommons.org.